Nerdrotic.com.
They've deconstructed another British icon. They just did this one respectfully, and I still fucking hate it.
Deconstructed nonetheless.
Well, it's just the list of white males. They're checking them off.
Yep.
I think I probably will watch again at some point. I'd probably watch all 5 of them, like all in a row at some point, because it was very unique. We'd never seen this shit before. That's not the way the Bond movies were intended to do, right? It was supposed to be kind of these standalone things like the books. And they decided to make a whole story from beginning to end fucking about Bond and Vesper Lind, effectively.
Yeah. And right at the beginning of the movie, they bring Vesper up.
That's not Bond. It's automatically
not Bond.
This is a guy calling himself James Bond who's far away from what Ian Fleming wrote. Because he's hung up on a chick.
The violent parts and the kind of disturbed parts and the dark parts are actually more in tune with Fleming's Bond than any iteration we've seen.
They are, but the everything else, I mean, you got half a Bond. We'll say you got half a Bond. And Daniel Craig probably looks a little, I don't know. He looks like a goblin. But I've heard this forever, right? So I grew up in the Roger Moore era, and fucking people bitched all time. They were like, Connery was the best. And I'm like, I fucking like Roger Moore. I was a kid.
I did too.
Because
it's a different style.
Yeah.
Wasn't for Roger Moore, another generation would not have watched fucking James Bond. Like they were made for kids, right? But then
Roger Moore was definitely more the camp.
Definitely, but he was cool. I mean,
he
we went back and watched Connery, and Connery's the fucking best, obviously. But I like Pierce Brosnan too. I thought that's
Pierce Brosnan. That was my Bond whenever I grew up.
Timothy Dalton, probably the worst.
What?
Yeah, not the worst. Where's that other guy that did like
George Lazenby? He did one.
Yes.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
That's the one he gets married in that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Honestly, I like all of them for very different reasons. You know what I mean? Like, they'll bring something special. And I wish Dalton had got more time. He's
a great actor.
Yeah. When Timothy Dalton, when it was out, I hated it. But then when I went back and watched it older, I thought it was better.
I think that it's the right thing to do a hard reboot of this series. We'll see where they go with it.
They killed
a hard
to get rid of another white male character. That's all it is. And like, here's where I'll semi agree with Ryan, because yes, you need to put the Daniel Craig era down like a freaking old dog. Because it was just dreary and fucking boring for the most part.
Well, he didn't even want to do it.
No, and
he didn't want to do the last three.
It kind of showed
the whole fucking time. And it's like, if you want to see emo, fucking sensitive Bond, who's a giant fucking pussy, sure, he fights and everything, but he's just always thinking about it's the girl who's the key to everything in this.
We interrupt this action movie to talk about James Bond's feelings.
Oh my god, trying to keep track of all the fucking family members who
I love you,
foster brother. I know, dude, that scene. There's like, for most part, it's fine. It's
no fucking chemistry though.
If he doesn't die at the end of the movie, I would probably feel different. I would say that it's probably as good as Spectre or something like a little better than Spectre, which isn't very good, by the way. And I don't see much of a difference other than the actual directing, the technical side of it. Much better. Fucking loved it. Much better than Sam Mendes. That scene at the end where they do the little small men speech. It's small men like you. Dudes, don't fucking talk like that. That was Phoebe Waller-Bridge 1000%. Mm-hmm. And then the other part when he walks into Madeline's house and he's all, I've always loved you. It's like, that's Phoebe Waller-Bridge. You can just tell when she wrote shit, because like, what? Oh,
yeah, no. that line, small men, that line felt weird when he said it.
Yeah.
I was like,
hearing a
feel natural
man say that was, I laughed. I fucking laughed. I'm like, oh my, because like nobody says that without like at least a lisp. Okay. Just, I'm not judging.
Something Garrett said a few minutes ago is it's not that they can't recast or don't know how to recast. They're not interested in recasting. They're just not interested. Even somebody completely retarded could understand that the next Bond should be Henry Cavill, but they're not interested in a male character, a white male character. Like,
we'll be wishing it was Idris Elba.
Like the MCU, they're not interested in giving us another Captain America that would be Steve Rogers. They're not interested in giving us another Tony Stark. They're interested in taking that platform that the white male character created and trying to recast it so they can have a popular person of color in that role. You know what I mean? And to catapult. So it's not a matter of them not knowing how to recast. They're not interested in recasting at all.
Normally, I wouldn't be for Cavill as Bond. I think he's too pretty. But I think in this case, like if you really wanted to like make a splash, you make him Bond, and don't make it grounded. Fucking walk away from the grounded Jason Bourne shit. I'm done with that.
Yes,
Bond is
yes.
fun. He loves his fucking job. He gets laid, but none of this shit's gonna happen. By the way, none of it's like this is
No, not even close.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys remember about 6-7 months ago? I said that they Luke Skywalkered Bond. That's what the guy told me. So do you guys get that now?
Oh,
Yeah, I get that, but I just
exactly.
Yeah.
That is exactly what they did.
Yeah. So you look at the movie as a whole. Again, my best description is it's an elegant deconstruction. So it's made by a more talented filmmaker. Yes,
Than Ryan Johnson. Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be completely fine with it, but it's not unlike Mad Max Fury Road, which had filled with that symbolism. But people love the movie. People absolutely love the movie, but it's filled with that symbolism, but nobody wants to see it.
Well-crafted symbolism.
Yeah.
But it's all there. But Bond is never really in a position of power. He's always in the dark. Now, listen, I've watched all the Bond films. I know he's been in the dark before, but he's dealt with betrayal, usually with pop, you're done. Even when a girl he just fucked tries to betray him, he'll kill her. Bond is hung up on this stuff. He's always in the dark. And this entire story centers around Madeline. It's her story.
It opens with her story.
It's her antagonist. I thought it was Bond's daughter at the beginning of the movie, and then turns out to be Mr. White's daughter.
Mr. White's daughter. So the two action set pieces that really stood out were the intro one, like on that car chase scene after he gets blown up.
That was good.
And, it was fucking phenomenal. The scope of everything.
The action was unbelievable.
And then the end, after when he finally goes to make that final crawl up the
stairs
tower, that was fucking awesome, dude.
Awesome. I
actually really like the fight in the forest. I thought that was
really cool. Yeah,
I loved how they used sound in that. That was but it's all the shit in between. I got so fucking sick of seeing him like almost on to tears,
the verge of tears. Yeah, it's like we
Daniel
interrupt the storming
Craig's
of this
Bond.
compound to talk about Bond's feelings.
Oh, and then Blofeld even calls him out. He's all, "You're always so sensitive, James." I'm like,
I know.
Fuck.
Now, is there the one scene where he grovels and cries to the blade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
he doesn't get a gun.
It's literally
with
fucking
the
grab his
context,
gun.
it's kind of
The context is he's trying to fucking kill him.
He's getting.
That's what the context is.
That's the subtlety, Ryan. That's where they get you. There's context. Oh, there's absolute context. I didn't like it. I know what he did right afterwards. I get it. I understand the context, but that's the symbolism of this.
But that's not what Bond would have done, though.
Bond would have thought of another way of doing it than that.
Yep. He just would have whipped the guy out and shot the three guys. That's what would have happened.
This is but Echo Chamber. Everyone, Echo Chamber, by the way.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.
If you like what I do here, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing the videos. It really does help. And if you did this with your favorite YouTuber as well, I'm sure they would appreciate it as much as I do.